Okay, today we're talking about our super sub-bass system, which is a powered 18-inch sub-bass speaker that we designed specifically to go with any Leslie. Today we're going to demonstrate it to you with the A105 organ, which is right over here to the left, and also with a Model 51 Leslie speaker that we've rebuilt into a 122. So first we're going to just show you what the organ sounds like with just the Leslie. Super sub hooked up and kind of the same thing. You'll probably see some flickering of the lights here because it's so powerful it actually makes the filaments in the light bulbs flicker. Okay, now we're around here on the business end of things. I just want to point out what the different controls are. You have a phase control, first of all, that allows you to match up the output of the subwoofer with what's coming out of the Leslie, and you basically just turn that until you get the most bass. And you may want to check that at a couple different places in the room, not just the seating position for where the organist is. This is a crossover control. And what it's going to do is control exactly how much of the pedal sound of the organ gets brought through the sub. The higher you turn it, the more of the pedal sound is going to be transmitted through the sub. So you may just want to get just the very lowest part, or you may want it to grab a little bit more of it. It just depends on your individual Leslie, individual organ, and also the room that it's in. And of course this is the big one here. This is the volume control, labeled level. And the amplifier's in here 90 degrees, so the writing and everything's turned sideways, but you actually don't ever want to turn it more than probably about 10 or 11 o'clock, or you're going to get so much bass that it's not going to balance out good with what you're doing on the keyboards of the organ. I also have a power switch here. We usually keep it in the auto position, which means that as soon as the sub sees the organ come on, it's going to turn itself on, and it'll actually stay on for probably about 30 minutes to an hour after you cut the organ off, just because of the way the circuit's made. Now, down here you'll notice we have a pretty standard jack bay, and we've chosen to use the Neutrik speak-on connector because it's a very rugged connector and doesn't give much trouble. So we've rewired this where this would normally be just a passive speaker box input. This now is the drive level or the drive signal to the power amp, and the power amp is internally wired to the 18-inch speaker. There's also a speaker protection device that will open up if you run too much volume here, which protects the speaker, but it can also shut you down, so you don't want to get crazy with it, guys. Okay, we want to take just a minute and show you how this connects. It's very, very simple. Most Leslies, the older type, have a red and a black wire with a little plug, and we've actually got an adapter here that we use so we can show this very easily, but all you're going to do is you're going to remove this plug. It'd normally be plugged in right here. Well, actually you don't even have to remove the plug, but you're just going to cut this wire, and then you're going to splice the two reds back together and the two blacks back together, and you're going to use an included wire nut, and then you're going to take the cable here with the white and the black and splice it in with those. So you're just piggybacking that signal. Now, on some of the newer Leslie cabinets, you might not have this. You might just have a wire coming out of the amp, two green wires with a little white Molex connector. At that point, you can cut on either side and do the same thing. Just splice the wire coming from the sub right into those two wires. That'll work great for you. And generally, there's extra wire up inside the cabinet, so you can take the back off, and you can pull a little bit of extra wire out and make it a little easier for you to work with that. We hope that a lot of you will get an opportunity to purchase one of these sub speakers. It's been very popular in the area that I service organs in, which is basically Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Charlotte, and some other areas. So we hope that some of you that are in different areas will take advantage of this great product.